All right, welcome everyone to the start of the TLC Tool Time. We are excited to have all of you join, and thank you for joining during this busy time for many of you. Our hope with this TLC Tool Time webinar series is that it will give you more of an insight to the tools available to you as affiliated agents with TLC. And the start of the Tool Time series, as you're aware, is with RetireFlo. So today we have Davis Root and Miles Miller, both senior executives for RetireFlo. We're super excited that they wanted to start off our series with us. So we'll let them jump right into it in just a moment. Just some housekeeping notes for you. Any questions you have, please put them in the chat and we'll be sure to answer them. We'll save all questions for the end of the webinar series. This webinar is being recorded, so it will be made available to you later on today once we get it cleaned up. And I think that's all I have. Again, I'm Julia Ewick with TLC Technical Support. So any questions you have regarding any of the tech platforms or this series, feel free to reach out to smartenroll@tlcinsurancegroup.com. We also have Joanna Jaskowick and Amy Gabbard with us today as well. Davis and Miles, I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I can't say enough about the TLC team. You guys have been rocking with RetireFlo since really day one. So we really appreciate you guys. Got to see some of you at Medicarians this spring. But with that being said, I'd like to get this thing started. Little background on who Davis and I are. Davis and I come from a Medicare agency in Columbus, Ohio. My dad started about 15 years ago. We're a small little agency. We have about 8 writing agents. But we serve around 20,000 seniors with either a Medicare supplement or a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, as great as that is, we ran into a problem every fall. Our clients would call us off the hook and say, "Hey, can you review my plan?" Um, we're a small agency. We simply could not handle the call volume. We were getting, 50 to 100 calls a day, per agent, and it was just overwhelming. So we came together like we got to do something to fix this. So we came up with RetireFlo. What we do in a bunch of words is we are a 10-question survey that gets 3 things. We get a list of drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. We achieve permission to contact, and then we get the scope of appointment at the very end. Most important part about the survey, the font is humongous. We ask one question at a time. I don't want to sound disparaging towards seniors, but if it's not easy, our client base is probably not going to complete it. And on average, it'll take our senior clients about 8 minutes to complete the survey. Dave, just want to keep it rolling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. So what happens when you sign up for RetireFlo is you're going to get your own link. When you go to send that out, you copy your RetireFlo link, you paste that into a text or an email, and send it over to your clients. What most agents do prior to AEP is say August 1st, they will send out a mass email to their entire book of business and say, "Hey, if you want me to review your plan, please complete this survey." And they put the link in there and they're good to go. It's very, very simple. There is no username and password required. So your clients click on the link, it takes them right into the survey, and they're good to go. We also have smart survey lookups. What that means is when your client gets to the prescription question and they type in LIP for Lipitor, Lipitor is going to pop up right away. We also serve as a liability protection mechanism. This is very, very important, and it has happened to us at our home agency. So say you enroll one of your clients in, let's say, April, and June rolls around, and your client files a grievance against you saying, "Hey, my Ozempic isn't covered." And you're like, "Susie, you never told me you took Ozempic." You can go back to when they completed your RetireFlo survey, and you're going to have a PDF summary of all their information that is CMS compliant and something you can send into CMS and have that grievance unfounded. So a little protection on the back end. And as well as using RetireFlo for AEP, you can also use this for new sales. So say I'm meeting with a client next Thursday and they call in, I can send them over my RetireFlo survey and I will have all of their drugs, doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, as well as a scope of appointment prior to the appointment. And most importantly, and this is what I was most excited to talk about, for about 2 years now, we have been integrated with Connecture. So in your guys' case, that is Smart Enroll. Um, what that means is when one of your clients completes the survey, all of their drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies will go straight into Connecture or Smart Enroll. So you're going to have a profile created in Smart Enroll. You can run quotes and then enroll somebody. So think about this AEP. You don't have to spend your time typing in your client's levothyroxine for days on end. You can send out your RetireFlo survey, your client completes it, and there is a perfectly beautifully broke down profile within Smart Enroll, ready to go and ready for quotes. But with that being said, Davis, do you want to take them through the actual survey?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So when somebody signs up for RetireFlo, this is the first page that you'll see when you log on to retireflo.com. This is your RetireFlo dashboard, and this is where your link would live. So we put a copy of your link here. We have a separate type of link for our Connecture users. So that's Smart Enroll. You would have a link that looks like this. We call it the super link. It's really just a URL. Like Miles said, when you're sending this to a client or a prospect, all you're going to do is copy that link, put it into an email or a text, send it over, and when they click on it, they are going to be able to access that survey right away. So once we paste that in the browser, you'll see that there is one landing page. All the beneficiary will have to do to begin the survey is click this big yellow click here for RetireFlo survey button, and they land right on your survey landing page. You'll notice up in the top left, it's branded with your logo. You have your headshot on it. It looks like you. So your clients know they're in the right place. Now, the first thing we're going to ask them for on the survey is for their name. Just for the sake of the demo today, I'll use Joanna's name. And then you'll see that the survey is very intuitive as well. It'll then begin to narrate it for the beneficiary as they go through. We're then going to ask for an email address. And let's just say every once in a while you run into a client who maybe doesn't use email and they're like, what do I do here? They can skip this, no problem, and move on with the rest of the survey. But more often than not, people will have an email and they will put it in here. Next up, we're going to ask them for an address. The nice thing about this question is once they type in about the first quarter of their address, they'll see theirs, be able to click on it. The rest of the information will populate for them. We're then going to ask them for their phone number. And then next up, we're going to ask for their date of birth. So we'll just use a date of birth of somebody who could be maybe transitioning to Medicare around this time. And then we're going to be asking for their pharmacy. The beneficiaries are able to add up to 3 retail pharmacies here. If there's somebody that prefers mail order, they can check this box. But let's just say that this client goes to a CVS, and then maybe sometimes they go to a Walgreens. Next up, we're going to ask about those current prescriptions. Obviously, a very important question here for your quoting. We remind for the beneficiary, hey, go get those prescription bottles so we know the exact medication you're taking. And we also remind them, hey, we don't need your over-the-counter medicines, your vitamins or supplements. So they know that as well. But the first prescription we'll add today is Lipitor. As Miles mentioned, once you type in those first couple letters, it's going to pop up. When they click on it, it's going to then ask them, hey, do you mean you take the generic form, atorvastatin? In a lot of cases, it's yes. Then when they select their dosage, a recommended quantity and frequency is going to populate. Maybe this person orders 90 every 3 months. That's totally okay. They can easily adjust those fields.
And one thing I want to add is we pull from the same drug list that Smart Enroll uses, so you're going to see an exact match on both sides.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll also say this person's taking Ozempic, another popular one right now. Because Ozempic comes in non-traditional means, it's an injectable, we'll have all that package information in there. Then lastly, let's just say this client's taking Synthroid. Maybe they're running through this question a little bit too quick. They forget to give you the dosage, quantity, or frequency, and they try to move on. It's not going to let them. It's going to make sure that each prescription is filled out its entirety before they move on. And then last couple questions here, we're going to get their doctors and hospitals. So we're going to ask for their primary care physician, any potential specialists they may see. We also remind them, hey, this is a great place to list your dentists or optometrists or physical therapists, so they can list those as well. But add a local primary care physician here. And you'll also notice that the zip code's automatically in there. That zip code is based on their address. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be within a 25-mile radius. If their doctor's far away, they can easily change that zip code if needed.
Yeah, and if they do travel to Florida in the winter, a lot of us work with snowbirds, they can change that zip code and add their physicians or hospitals in another zip code.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'll just add a local orthopedic surgeon I know here. And then lastly, we're just going to ask about their doctors and their hospitals. So here in Columbus, Ohio, where Miles and I are located, a lot of people go to Ohio State. So I'll add that. And then the last question for them is there any additional information you feel is important? This gives a beneficiary a chance to leave you a couple of notes. Maybe they know their Part A and B dates. That's a great thing to let you know, and they can type that in here.
We've had beneficiaries in the past tell us, "Hey, my grandson plays soccer," and that might be important to them. So it's a good space where they can put anything they want, just if they need to get off their chest.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last step of the process for the beneficiary is just filling out that scope. We're letting them know exactly what a scope is. It's really not that scary. They're not signing their life away. And we have our CMS approved compliance scope here. So all the beneficiary is going to do is initial each box. If a POA is signing for somebody, they can check this box, but we make it very easy for them to fill out the scope. All they're going to do is initial each box. They are then going to pick out their favorite signature, and they are good to go. So they're given this nice confirmation screen letting them know that they're all set. The agent from the agency will contact you soon. Now on your end, as the agent, you get a text and or email from us right away letting you know that you got a new submission from, in this case, Joanna. And that information is instantly accessible for you in two places. So one, we're going to store a hard copy of that submission on retireflo.com. And then number two, that submission data is going to go directly to Joanna's profile on Connecture or Smart Enroll, meaning you don't have to do the data entry. You can go right and get quotes in hand immediately. So to show you guys first what that hard copy of the submission looks like, if we hop back over to retireflo.com, the second option down on the left-hand side is our submission center. We'll always store the hard copies of those submissions for you permanently. But if we click view here, you'll see that we generate a nice PDF. It's very clean, displaying all that information the beneficiary gave you. So you have their contact information here on the left-hand side, address, date of birth, and then those pharmacies, hospitals, physicians on the right. Additionally, we have a page for their prescriptions. And then we also have a notes page now. A lot of our users like to print these out and have them in front of them in in-person meetings. It gives you a place to jot some notes down. And then last but not least, you have that CMS approved compliance scope with the beneficiary's initials in each box. You have their signature, a time stamping of when it's completed. Now you'll notice that the agent aspect of the scope is left blank. With that being said, it's very easy to sign these in your submission center. If we hop back over, you'll see on the right-hand side, there's a sign button. And this allows you to update your aspect of the scope. So maybe the initial method of contact was phone. Maybe you guys talked about MAPDs, and maybe you met on today's date. When we press confirm and sign, it's going to update that for you. And like I said, we're going to store that for you permanently, so you always have it.
Yeah, and what I was talking about earlier, if you have a grievance filed against you, you can download this form, send that into CMS, and if there was information that was not provided to you by the beneficiary that was not included on that PDF, that is what you can send in. So it's great backup tool just in case something were to ever happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now to show you guys most importantly where this information goes on Smart Enroll, my connection looks a little bit different, same functionality, it's just a different white label. But if I hop over here, I might just need to refresh this real quick. And if I look up Joanna in my Connecture, I will have a new profile with all that information. So you'll see that's right here. We can even confirm the date. It shows when it was last up to date. And when we click on it, you'll see we have a nice clean profile ready for quoting right away. So you'll see everything transfers over instantly. You even have a nice time stamping showing when that profile was updated. If you click on the beneficiary name and go to the preferences, you can see the specifics of all the providers they added, pharmacies, prescriptions, and you're ready to go right into quoting right away. So it's really as easy as that.
Yeah. And folks, we're agents ourselves. I could not be an agent without this. Every fall we send out probably 4 emails starting August 1st and just let our clients know, hey, if you want to review this fall, please complete this survey. We're going to ask you for your drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. And we usually get around a 75-80% response rate. Now I know, there's going to be a couple clients who probably won't do this, and we get that. We don't expect 100% response rate. But to get 80% of your book of business with their updated information before October 15th, that's a game changer. That will save you weeks of time come October.
Yeah.
Um, and then new prospects, I send this over to them, and before they even walk in the door to meet with me, I have quotes ready to go. I look prepared. I am prepared. And they don't have to bring a grocery bag worth of prescriptions into our meeting. So I have nightmares about that.
Yeah.
Um, I told this to Davis a couple days ago. I had a client about a year and a half ago that I had to type in their prescriptions, and they wrote it down on a napkin. We don't have to do that anymore. It's 2026. So this is the solution. Davis, you want to go back to the slideshow real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and just to add on to that, with your T65s and people transitioning to Medicare, it should be close to 100% response rate. Just giving your clients a short explanation of, why you need it, why it's important. You need it for quoting and for compliance. You can be prepared for the meeting. And then just pasting that link in there is really about as simple as it is. And, you'll notice that your clients will get it done.
Yeah, and it's easier on them. It's easier on their clients. It's simple. They can sit at home with their prescription bottles, type it all in, and they're good to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Miles, you want to talk about where we're kind of advertised inside of Smart Enroll?
Yeah. So we're advertising 2 different places. Number one is if you click on your name in the top right corner and then click on account overview in the drop down, this picture right here is going to show up. It's going to say RetireFlo in the very middle. You click sign up, it'll take you 2 or 3 minutes, and you guys are live and ready to go. So you can get surveys going by tomorrow. It's as simple as that. David, you want to go to the next slide? We're also in each client profile. So on the right-hand side, you'll see that same RetireFlo box, and it'll take you through that same exact process. The one thing I do want to say is you guys get a very special discount. And it looks like it was put in the chat. Normally we are $60 a month or $600 for the year. It is a 12-month contract. But with promo code JSA, all caps, all TLC agents are going to get 50% off. So, the way we view it, it's just one retained client. That's it. And I guarantee you, if you send this out, you're going to get hundreds to thousands of submissions, which is weeks of time. Well worth it. Well worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but $29.99 a month, $300 for the year, and that's it. That price does not change. It does not matter how many people complete the survey. That price is stagnant. And it's all caps JSA, and we'll make sure to get that to you guys after the webinar today.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And Miles, just a couple of other things I wanted to touch on just to make sure people are familiar with on our RetireFlo dashboard. So, we went over where you grabbed that link from. This manage button on the right-hand side is very important because this is how you can go through and make any changes to your profile. So maybe you did a rebrand and you have a new logo and you need to update that. Maybe you just got a brand new headshot. This is where you're going to do that. But it just allows you to make any changes to your profile. There's a lot of customizable features. And then something I didn't touch on as well is we did recently add a new feature. We call them action buttons. But if you can recall on the last page, when the beneficiary goes and submits the survey on this confirmation screen, you can put a link to your calendar. You can put a link to your website. It gives your clients an additional place to go after submitting the survey. So a lot of people are using this and really liking it.
You know, one thing I want to talk about is, folks, if you're gonna use RetireFlow, sign up today. Don't wait till August and September. I was given someone the analogy the other day. You know, the New York Knicks won last night, and they're probably going to win the NBA Finals. They didn't start playing basketball yesterday. They've been practicing for the entire year. Get used to this. Start using it right now for your prospective clients. Send it to your friends, your family. And so when AEP rolls around, you are prepared and ready to go. And I think it'll blow your mind how much time it'll save you. You know, if I had this 5 years ago, I wouldn't have so much stress during AEP. So it's just a link, copy and paste it into a text or an email. Maybe you use a CRM of some sort. Send your RetireFlow link through your CRM to your entire book of business during AEP, and you're golden. That's all you got to do. We give you templates if you don't know what to send out in the resource section. So you have everything you need to be prepared for October 15th when it rolls around.
Some templates there.
Unless there's something else, that is all I have, and we are open to any questions.
Yeah. Last thing before questions, I was just going to show people is a lot of agents also use RetireFlow in their marketing campaigns. So typically a good rule of thumb is if you're distributing the survey on paper, maybe you send, a mailer out ahead of AEP each year. Maybe you create brochures and flyers and give them to your referral sources. We can help you provide that QR code for you. So you just click more actions here, download QR code, and that's a great thing to put on your marketing campaigns. But other than that, we're a very accessible team as well. If you ever need help with anything setting up or you need any guidance on anything, we have a link to our calendar up here in the top right corner. So we're very accessible. We're real people. We will meet with you whenever you need help with anything. You can reach Miles and I directly. Also, we have a Facebook group. It's called Medicare Island. And let me just pull that up real quick. But there's a link to that on our website. And we actually did just make a rebrand to RetireFlow Island. So if you may need to look up RetireFlow Island to get there, but
we need to change that, Davis. We need to change it on our website.
But we have about 5,000 of our users in there. It's a great Facebook group. People ask general questions. People talk about best practices, things going on in the industry. So if you're a Facebook user, I'd recommend hopping in. But that's really about it on my end. If there's any questions that are coming up, we'd be happy to start answering those.
And Davis, could you also touch base if I know we showed sending the survey from the RetireFlow dashboard, but if they do have that integrated Smart Enroll connector, RetireFlow, can you show them how to send the survey from their connector?
Yeah, 100%. So with our integration with Connecture, we have a couple of different ways to send it out. Like Miles and I displayed, you can send it with just that link through your own email, through your own text messaging. But you can also send it from within your own Smart Enrolls as well. So if we hop back over to the main dashboard here, let's say you're on the phone with a new prospect and you want to send it over. Maybe you have your Smart Enroll open. You could click New Profile, New Beneficiary via RetireFlow. All you need is a first and last name, an email address, or phone number. You're able to customize a text, and you can send it directly from within your Smart Enroll account. Additionally, let's say you're sending it to a client that you already have a profile for. You can press, let me pull up Joanna's profile here. You can pull up a client profile, and on the right-hand side here, there's a Send Survey button, and you can easily send it from within a client profile as well. But yeah, that's also an option. The one thing I do tell people is when you send the survey from within Smart Enroll, it's very quick, very efficient, but you might want to just let your clients know, hey, you're going to be getting an email or text from a do not reply at retireflow.com email. Just that way they know that it's coming. They're not as familiar with RetireFlow as they are with your email or your phone number.
And that's why we have the super link. So if you do want to send it from your email, you have the ability to do that.
Mm-hmm. And you'll also notice this bulk send feature as well that we have just for our Connecture product. And this sources essentially a contact list from your whole Smart Enroll book of business, and it gives you a way to send the surveys from within inside of RetireFlo as well to your Smart Enroll contacts. So it's another good way to send it out quickly and efficiently, and that's another option. So
And
really three
this
ways to send it out.
this part will allow you to bulk send to your entire book of business. So instead of sending an email one by one to each client, you can use this section on RetireFlo to send it to everybody at once if you want to.
Absolutely. So like I said, there's three ways to send it out. You don't have to use all three ways. I usually recommend to people, pick which way works best in your workflow and stick with it. But all three are there, and you can use whatever. Are there any other questions?
I haven't had any other questions roll in. One of our agents, Don Golding, did say that he loves the splash page and the ability to receive the Google reviews. So again, that is another feature with RetireFlo as well, the splash page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll touch on that really quick as well. So our splash pages, those are a free tool we offer to our users. The splash page is something that you would send to your clients post enrollment. Maybe you had a good experience working with a client, you wanted them to leave you a review. You would simply create a splash page here. And once that splash page is active, it'd be on your RetireFlo dashboard. When you're sending that to somebody, all you do is copy that and put it once again in an email or a text. Sometimes people will put it in their email signatures. When the beneficiary clicks on it, they land on your splash page here. It gives them two options. They can, one, leave a review, or number two, refer your information over to a friend. It gives your clients a really easy way to pass your information along to maybe a family member or a friend that they think should work with you.
And Davis, can you go back to the dashboard real quick?
Yeah.
Um, one thing I want to touch on is we do offer a couple different surveys. We do have an ACA survey, and we have a very exciting integration with Health Sherpa coming. So what that will do is your client will complete the survey, much like Smart Enroll, and that information will go right into Health Sherpa for ACA. And that's going to be live way prior to OEP. So very similar feel to that Medicare survey we showed you. The difference is we're going to get smoking status, income level, dependent information, and that ACA consent form at the end. But there will be that integration with Health Sherpa. So those of you who are not in a state exchange and probably use Health Sherpa, that'll be available for you here, hopefully by the end of the summer.
Yeah. And let's say you're already using our Connector survey, or maybe you added today and you want to add that ACA survey later on, or maybe the life insurance survey. We have this survey marketplace here on the left-hand side, so you can add our additional products. So all those products are listed here. You'll see our life insurance survey, our ACA survey. We also have products for our SOA only. So a lot of people really like our scope and they want to have a survey with just our scope. That's an option. And then also we have a consent form only survey as well. Just to note, you guys get 50% off of all of our products with TLC. So that promo code, once you get it in your account, will apply to any products you may add later on.
Any other questions?
I have not had any other questions come through on our chat. I don't know if anyone's sent any questions directly to you two.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready for the weekend, which so am I.
Right? Yeah. Robert did ask to remind how to sign up. Robert, you can do that through your Connector platform or just by going to retireflo.com.
Yeah, and if you're doing the integration with Smart Enroll, you'll just want to go right to Smart Enroll. There, you can either pull up a client profile, we're advertised there. You can start the sign up process, or you can go to account overview in the top right corner, and we're advertised right in the middle of that page. So either one works. And once you get through onboarding, you're good to go and start sending it out.
Robert, it's 2:30 Eastern time. You can be ready to go by 2:35. So.
Perfect. Well, I just want to thank both Miles and Davis for joining us today and kicking off our TLC Tool Time webinar series. Again, if anyone has questions after the fact, you can either go to RetireFlo and set up that demo with them, or you can send the Smart Enroll team an email at smartenroll@tlcinsurancegroup.com. Or alternatively, you can call into the office 800-719-3751 and ask for any one of us, and we'll be able to assist you with whatever questions you have. We just, again, want to thank all of you for taking time out of your day to join us, and keep an eye on your email for those additional webinars that are coming up throughout June and July, featuring all of the technology offerings that you have as a TLC affiliated agent.
Absolutely. Well,
very
thank you
much.
guys for having us on. We love TLC. And we'll look forward to continue working together. And if you guys ever need anything, always feel free to reach out and let us know.
Yeah, perfect. And all of our agents that do currently use RetireFlo, they always have only good things to say, and it really has helped their business. They're no longer having to call clients and get all of that information over the phone. They don't have to wait for the snail mail to hit their mailboxes with paper copies. It's really the Medicare demographic is really moving more to tech savvy individuals. So this is a great platform. I suggest all of you getting it. It's going to help your business tremendously.
Thank you. Thank
Awesome.
you. Well,
Thank you so much.
If you guys need
You're
anything, you know where to
welcome.
find us. RetireFlo.com.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. We
Yeah.
appreciate you taking some time out of your day.